Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Welcome to my show. When we think about nonprofits, we've got to include Make-A-Wish North Texas. They are doing such amazing work, and they have for generations now. To talk about that, Scotty Landry, he's the CEO. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. So let's talk about the pandemic, because it's affected all nonprofits, both on the giving side and sometimes on the serving of the client. So how's it impacted Make-A-Wish North Texas?
Sure, thank you for asking. It has hit us, Make-A-Wish, pretty hard, as you can probably imagine. 76% of what we do is travel related. You know, there are 4 or 5 types of wishes. I wish to be, I wish to go, I wish to meet, I wish to have, or I wish to give. But most of those involve putting a kid on a plane and traveling somewhere. Well, when COVID hit and the travel restrictions are as they are, obviously we're not going to put a very vulnerable population at risk. And then also a large mass group meetings. You know, we can't do quinceañeras. So what do? Right? We have to get very, very creative at this time.
Yes, I can imagine. And I want to talk about hope with you, because you were telling me something before the show that really struck me, that the hope that you give a child can really change their outcome.
It can. We like to say we're in the hope business. A few years ago, there was a study done by Dr. Anut Patel out of Cleveland, Ohio, who actually looked at the power that a wish has over a kid. And I like to tell this story because I think it's a perfect example of it. I've got this email from his mom who said, I had a tough conversation with my daughter. She said, Mommy, I'm not going to make it. And her mom says, no, you're not. Yes, you are. You're going to make it. And they had this little debate. And her struggle was, as a parent, how do you have that conversation with your kid to give them hope, the will to want to live? Then she found out she was going to get her wish. And her wish was to go to Paris to Fashion Week. And once she found out she was going to go to Paris, she'd go back to her doctors and she'd say, you got to make me better. I've got to go to Paris, right? That little paradigm shift in that young lady's mind, that's Make-A-Wish.
Yes.
We're in the hope business. We like to say we're in the hope business. I truly believe we are.
Wow, and you're such a great ambassador of it. For those who aren't familiar with this organization, they've got wonderful social media. They've got a bunch of stories on YouTube. Let's play one of them now.
Just let him go. She's all the way in there.
Wow, I think that is so cool. You're the CEO. I can't imagine you get to meet all of the young people that you help.
I wish I could. We grant over 500 wishes a year. During COVID this past year, we granted 240, a little setback, but we have over 1,465 kids waiting. And so there's a huge pipeline. And COVID, with us having that rain put on us, we're looking forward to the day when we can turn around and meet every kid's wish and grant every kid's wish. And it may take us a little time to get there, but as soon as COVID lifts, we know we're going to be putting kids on planes when it's safe to do so.
Wow. Well, one of the reasons why Make-A-Wish North Texas is so near and dear to my heart is during my 25-year news career, I had the honor of winning 2 Emmy Awards, and one of them was for one of your Make-A-Wish kids. Her name was Chrissy Holman. We're going to put some video up, and we'll just talk about her. Essentially, the story was that she had bone cancer and was not going to see graduation day, and so her school found out about it. The school district ended up kind of graduating her in her bedroom. And when I learned about it at Fox 4, they said, Jeff, you need to do this story. It's such a compelling story, and we've got video of her. And so I did the story, and that night as I'm sitting there in front of Chrissy's home editing the piece, I was just overwhelmed with emotion because I realized I didn't have the words. I mean, how do you write a story about a dying girl and the dying girl is watching it upstairs? And so I just prayed. I said, God, I don't have the words. And so I feel like that piece was not my words, that was God's words. And everybody has a Chrissy story, as I'm finding out.
Yeah, Jeff, I appreciate, I can't tell you how much we appreciate that story and how much that story has meant to Make-A-Wish North Texas. I've been in Make-A-Wish now almost 11 years, and I don't go 2 months without meeting somebody that says, oh yeah, I know Make-A-Wish. You guys, you did that, the little girl that wanted to meet friends, you did that story on the news. I saw it all over the news in Dallas, and so thank you for bringing that awareness to our organization with that piece.
Well, you're very, very kind. Well, you are always out there, even during a pandemic, granting wishes. We're going to put up on the screen because you've got a calendar for every month. What are some wishes that are coming up that you're a part of?
Well, as you can see on from the screen, we've got to get creative. Yeah. And we can do a lot of things. We can do shopping spree wishes, and we do it online. We get creative, and we can do build a kid a studio, a special place in their home that makes them feel special. Or we've done some backyard playhouses. Or some electronic wishes. So again, during this time, we can grant wishes. We just have to get really creative in how we do it.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna go on record. Yeah. If you ever have a child who wants to be a TV star, feel free to bring them into one of our studios and use our studios to produce a show.
I'm going to take you up on that.
You got a deal. You got a deal. We're going to end with the website so everybody can get in touch. There it goes. ntx.wish.org. Scotty, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
You bet. And that's it for now. See you next time.